Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Frankfort Village Board. Tonight is Monday, July 13th, 2026. I call this meeting to order and I ask our Deputy Clerk, Teresa Cork, to take the roll, please.
Mayor Ogle.
Here.
Trustee Lennon.
Here.
Trustee Petro.
Here.
Trustee Rigoni.
Here.
Trustee Savaria.
Here.
Trustee Burley is absent and Trustee Rossi is absent. Police Chief Lamore, Attorney Lamore.
Present.
Police Chief Salefis.
Here.
Village Administrator Rica.
Right.
Assistant Administrator Brown.
Here.
And Village Clerk Schubert is absent.
All right. Thank you. At this time, I ask if everyone would please stand with me and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on our agenda is what's called the unanimous consent agenda. All items on this consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature, and they'll be enacted in one single motion. There's no separate discussion of these items unless one of the board members so requests. In that event, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. At this time, I ask if anyone would like to remove any items from the consent agenda. Hearing none, could I get a motion and a second to approve, please?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll be going through these items so that the members of the audience, as well as anyone that might be watching later on Channel 6 or the YouTube channel, knows what the Village Board is voting on. These entire packets of information, a couple hundred pages, are available on our village website, frankfortil.org, including all of the past meetings and the video. So the first item that was in the consent agenda was the approval of the minutes. We had a public hearing on June 15th of 2026, as well as a regular meeting the same day. And we will go to the approval of the bills, which is the next item. We'll go to Trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the bills for tonight total $2,311,064.34, consisting of the general corporate fund for $1,316,779.85, capital development fund for $347,234.91, sewer and water and operating maintenance $421,316.33, and the sewer and water extension fund totaling $225,733.25. The biggest item was the annual insurance renewal, which totaled about $823,000 for the workers' comp and the property and liability insurance. Those are the bills for this evening.
All right, thank you. We have 4 items from the Plan Commission, and for the first one, we'll go to Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor. First one is Avocado Theory, special use permit for full-service restaurant. The applicant, Avocado Theory Incorporated, is requesting a special use permit for a full-service restaurant at 11 South White Street, Unit 111, within the Trolley Barn. Although previous restaurant tenants operated at this location, a special use permit was never obtained. Approval of this request will bring the property into compliance with the current zoning ordinance. At its June 11, 2026 public hearing, the Plan Commission reviewed the request and forwarded a unanimous recommendation of approval to the Village Board. The motion before us is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting a special use permit for a full-service restaurant for the property located at 11 South White Street, Unit 111, to allow the operation of Avocado Theory in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, and findings of fact.
Thank you. Next item on here, we will go to Trustee Savaria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The next item is Homestead Plan Unit Development Major Change. Frankfort Chop House, located at 11235 West Lairway Road, is requesting approval of a major change to the Homestead Center planned unit development to amend the final development plan for Lot 2. The request includes construction of a 23-space parking lot expansion along the south side of the existing access drive to accommodate the restaurant's increased parking demand. At its June 25, 2026 public hearing, the Plan Commission reviewed the request and forwarded a unanimous 6-0 recommendation of approval to the Village Board. The motion before us tonight is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance approving a major change to the Homestead Center Plan Unit Development to amend the final development plan for Lot 2, located at the southwest corner of Wolf and Laraway Roads, for the construction of a 23-space parking lot expansion in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, and findings of fact, and subject to final engineering approval and the following conditions. 1, at least one additional ADA accessible parking stall shall be provided on site. 2, the plan shall comply with Landscape Ordinance Section 158.30, parking lots and vehicles use areas, including the planting of overstory trees within the required landscape islands. And 3, if and when either lot is sold in the future, a reciprocal easement agreement for shared parking among both lots shall be established and recorded in conjunction with the said sale.
Okay. Our next item, then, we will go to, actually, the next two items. We'll go to Trustee Bergoni.
Thank you, Mayor. The first item is Hat's Motor Works Special Use Permit for Automobile Repair and Service. Applicant AJ Auto Parts, Inc. is requesting approval of a special use permit for automobile repair and service to operate Hat's Motor Works at 708 Center Road within the B2 Community Business District. At its June 25, 2026 public hearing, the Plan Commission reviewed the request and forwarded a unanimous 6-0 recommendation of approval to the Village Board. The motion before us is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting a special use permit for automobile repair and service for the property located at 708 Center Road to allow the operation of Hat's Motor Works in accordance with reviewed plans, public testimony, and findings of fact, and subject to the following conditions. No sales or service inventory vehicles shall be displayed or stored in existing interior striped parking spaces or along any adjacent driveways. 2, soundproofing materials shall be installed on interior walls of the business so to prevent noise from impacting adjacent businesses. And 3, all exterior overhead and service doors shall remain closed during the entirety of the business hours to help mitigate potential noise impacts. The second item is Dimes Coffee Lounge Special Use Permit for Carry-Out Restaurant. Dimes Coffee Lounge is requesting a special use for approval of a special use for a carry-out restaurant at 10850 West Laraway Road, Unit 2W, within the Patriot Center. The business previously received approval of a special use permit for its existing location at Unit 1W and is now proposing to expand into the adjacent tenant space to accommodate its continued growth. At its June 25, 2026 public hearing, the Plan Commission reviewed the request and forwarded a unanimous 6-0 recommendation of approval to the Village Board. The motion before us is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting a special use permit for a carry-out restaurant for the property located at 10850 West Laraway Road, Unit 2W, to allow the operation of Dimes Coffee Lounge in accordance with the reviewed plan, public testimony, and findings of fact.
Thank you. Those are all the items on the consent agenda, and we have a motion, a second on the floor, and we will ask our Deputy Clerk, Teresa Cork, to do the roll.
Trustee Pedro?
Yes.
Trustee Scaria?
Yes.
Trustee Bergoni?
Yes.
Trustee Litton?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Wonderful, thank you. The next item was what's called the Mayor's Report. And first, we had an amazing weekend with Bluegrass in town. This was the 16th year of the Frankfort Bluegrass Festival. They brought in international groups, again, a group from England, and the comments that I heard throughout the crowd for the visitors here praising our town, the people of our town, the volunteers that ran this event, the music, and also just this was best described, I think it was a chill vibe. The music was nice, it was relaxing, very talented. We had great food and really showed off our town very, very well. Excellent job done by Steve Haberrichter and his team of volunteers, and they're all volunteers. And they worked really hard this weekend, and we can't thank them enough. And again, it really showed off Frankfort in just such a wonderful way. We are not a cookie cutter community. You know, I've heard, recently heard some things, well, why don't we do exactly what somebody else is doing? Why don't we have this exactly? That's not us. We're unique. There's something special about Frankfort, and we're going to relish that and enjoy it. And it was a great weekend. Had a great time. Our movies on the green, the second of our 3 movies on the green is scheduled for tomorrow, Tuesday the 14th, featuring Matilda. It'll begin around 8:15 p.m. or dusk in brighter green. In the event of inclement weather, which we won't be having, it'll be rescheduled for the following Tuesday. The event is co-sponsored by the Frankfort Chamber, the Frankfort Park District, and the Village of Frankfort. And then we have our popcorn sponsors, which is the Knights of Columbus, the Kiwanis Club of Frankfort, and of course, the Frankfort Lions Club. Our cruise in Frankfort continues every Monday evening through September 21st. It's from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock in downtown Frankfort. They're going on right now, and some great cars every week. It's something if you had one of those cars when you were growing up, or to bring your children or grandchildren out to see them, and just have an appreciation for some of these magnificent vehicles and machines. The Friday on the Green, our partnership with the library, will continue every Friday through July 31st. It's from 10 o'clock until 11, and it features entertainment. This July 17th will be Cops and Crocs, not the shoes. It's the Reptile Den. Will present the Reptile Rodeo, an exciting hands-on reptile and bug experience for all ages. I think they have some tarantulas out there too. And the Frankfort Police Department will conduct bicycle safety checks and also lead a community bike ride that time. So our Frankfort Country Market continues every Sunday through October 25th. It's from 9 to 1 p.m. in downtown Frankfort. Very popular, great place to come out. There's live music there as well all day. And then in the evening on Sundays, our Concert on the Green. Starting this Sunday, the 19th, we have Related Rhapsody, which is a group that's going to perform disco and yacht rock favorites. They start at 6:30 and go till 8. And we'll want you to save a date for the Frankfort's Night Out Against Crime, and that's going to be on August 4th. Again, it's in Brighter Green. It's from 6 to 8, and it's a free, very family-friendly event. Features the popular touch truck program, kickball challenge with the police, face painting, DJ. I think we have Don Gray again. Don does a great job out there. Free hot dogs. Everybody likes free food, and then we have much, much more. Today, when we finish our village board meeting, we'll have our committee of the whole meeting, and we have the Lakota group here with us today. And they were the village's consultant for the downtown urban design and planning study. And they'll present their findings and recommendations from the study during the committee of the whole meeting, which will begin shortly after tonight's meeting. We had several meetings over the last 4 or 5 months, getting community input. There was several open houses, and took in all that information, and here's some of their findings, and it's just a further step. It's not a final step for anybody. And two final notes here that I wanted to make here. One is I'm very saddened that I heard of the passing of Thomas Becker. Tom came before our board a few months ago. He was a tireless advocate for protecting our farmland here and our rural character. And he lived in Green Garden, and he was right on our border. And he was a staunch advocate, opposed to taking over Green Garden by those large solar farms, including the 6,100 acre one that was approved by the county, and that's Earthrise. They approached us, and the village of Frankfort did not take any money. One of the few communities that did not take any money from Earthrise for their solar projects. We wouldn't sell out Frankfort. And one final item, and this is something that a couple people had sent to me, and it's about the amazing people that do live here. So Tuesday, July 7th, around 12:30 in the afternoon, at 80th and Hill Avenue in Frankfort Square, a young woman with her mother were driving, and the mother, who had just had some health issues, went into cardiac arrest, and they ended up off the road in the trees. There were two young children, a boy and a girl around 10 years old, who came out to help them. They just saw this and they came out. The mom is doing okay now. First responders came out, everything else, but this young lady, Samantha, would like to personally thank these two young children and their parents. Now they may want to remain anonymous. It's a good deed, and sometimes, you don't have to broadcast your good deeds. You just do them. But if you'd like, please contact us at the village. I know she would like to personally thank you and your parents. If you want to remain anonymous, please contact us at the village, and we'll put you in contact together too. So, and again, on behalf of all of Frankfort, I just want to thank you. That's it for the mayor's report tonight, and we'll start our board comments with Trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, I guess I'll start with what you finished with, because I read that story on Facebook today, and pretty extraordinary, the incident and what those two young residents did. But thank you to the first responders as well, and I'm glad to hear that the mom who suffered the event is doing well. Congratulations to the committee and all the volunteers on a successful Bluegrass Festival. The weather cooperated, which was great. That wasn't really the case on the 4th of July, so I'm glad that they had better weather than everyone else did a week ago. And thank you to the police for supporting and protecting the event and the village, everything that was done to provide the support that they needed to pull off such a wonderful thing. And I think that's all I have.
Okay. Trustee Savaria.
No comment tonight, Mayor.
Okay. Trustee Rodoni.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I'd like to welcome the 3 new businesses that we issued business licenses back in June, as well as an Avocado Theory, Hats Motorwork, as well as the expansion of Dimes Coffee Lounge, and also the continued success by the Chop House needing additional parking. As I say that any business has any community to pick, and when you pick Frankfort, it is the greatest compliment that you can give a community. So thank you for investing in us. Thank you.
Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank our village staff and police and all of our community partners that have helped put on so many of the recent events. And having to flex due to weather and other things that are coming up, it truly does take a village. And I would just encourage our residents to come out. There are so many more community events this summer, and enjoy seeing your neighbors and have a great time.
Thank you. John, any other business tonight? Okay. This is the point of the meeting. It's called public comment. Is there anyone who would like to come before the board in this committee, or sorry, in this village board meeting and make a comment? Okay. Kristen, come on up. This is public comment. There's not a back and forth, so.
Do you need me to sign this right now?
No. Can't if you want.
Good evening. I'm here tonight because I'm deeply concerned about the lack of communication, the transparency, and the accountability surrounding the recent street closure and the beer garden during the Bluegrass Festival. Let me be clear, my concern is not the Bluegrass Festival. I support the community events that bring people downtown. My concern is how this significant change was handled and the impact it had on the permanent downtown businesses that support this community year-round. The village failed to communicate the closure of Ash Street and the new creation of a large beer tent to the businesses most directly affected. For the record, when did the board first discuss or approve the street closure? When was any special event or special use permit issued? If those answers aren't available tonight, I'll obtain them through another FOIA request. What is troubling is the timeline. The timeline is very important. Businesses received only 3-day notice of this major operational change. The notice came on Bluegrass Festival letterhead. Yet when I contacted the festival organizer directly, he told me he knew nothing about the letter, and he actually asked me to forward it to him, which I did. The notice contained no site plan, no operational details, and no diagram showing the size or boundaries of the beer garden. Without that information, businesses felt blindsided and had no opportunity to prepare inventory, adjust operations, or raise legitimate concerns before this event. Throughout the weekend, businesses were left without answers. When we called Village Hall, the staff did their best, but told us to contact the event coordinator. The event coordinator did not have answers regarding the beer tent. When concerns arose during the event, businesses were told to call the police. When the police were contacted about the placement of the porta potties directly outside a business entrance, they were advised to contact the village on Monday. That raises a simple concern: who was in charge? There was no village point of contact, no information tent, no phone number for operational issues, and no one who could answer basic questions about an event taking place on a public street. Adding to those concerns, the footprint of the beer garden changed during the festival. Barricades were moved, the beer garden expanded, and the porta potties were relocated multiple times through the weekend. This raises several important questions. Were the porta potties locations part of the approval event site plan? Was a permit pulled for the porta potties on public property? If so, who authorized relocating these during the event? Were those new locations reviewed for fire safety, public safety, pedestrian access, sanitation, and ADA accessibility before they were moved? At one point, a porta potty was placed immediately adjacent to a fire hydrant. Was the placement reviewed or approved by the fire district? If the approval even layout changed after the festival began, who had the authority to make those decisions, and why were the affected businesses never informed? These aren't minor details. They go directly to public safety, accountability, and the management of an event taking place on a public street. It is my understanding that the Board of Trustees were first notified of this significant beer garden expansion around June 24th. I requested records through FOIA to establish the complete timeline, so I may be off on some of my facts, but this is exactly why transparency matters. So I would like to ask each trustee tonight, did you know the full scale and footprint of this beer garden before the festival? Did you actively review and approve the footprint of the beer garden on a public street? Was there a vote by the board for a special use permit for the beer garden?
This is public comment, Kristen.
Okay. Well, then I will just go ahead once again and ask this in a FOIA. Who approved the final site plan, and who had the authority to approve changes to the site plan during the event? I'm not here to oppose the Bluegrass Festival. I support community events that bring people downtown. My concern is that permanent downtown businesses deserve to be treated as partners, not afterthoughts. Going forward, I respectfully ask the village to require advance notice to affected businesses, provide site plans before any significant street closure, identify a single village point of contact during events, and ensure that any required approvals are handled transparently and publicly. Working together, we can support great events while also protecting the businesses that invest in this town every day throughout the year.
Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to make a public comment before the board tonight? Kurt?
Yeah, about the Bluegrass Festival and other events as well. Where I live on the corner of Elwood and Smith, okay? So I live there and I know the area very well. But West Bowen, where it meets White Street, you can't get out of there. I mean, I left my home 5 or 6 times over, Saturday and Sunday. And you just gotta pull out and hope you don't hit anybody or nobody hits you. You can't see to the north, you can't see to the south. And I've mentioned that before. During the farmer's market, they do put a sign blocking one parking space. That was not there during the Bluegrass Festival. So, I mean, it's a safety hazard. And I live there. So, I mean, if you have visitors, and there was a lot of them, they were going around my house. I mean, it was like a merry-go-round. And so if I can't get out, what are they thinking when they're trying to get out? Because they keep going around and around and around looking for a parking space and they can't find one. So I just want to call your attention to the fact that this is a serious issue. Somebody's going to get hurt down there. And I've mentioned it before, so hopefully we can do something about it. Okay.
Thank you. Charlie?
Okay, so this is just public comment, so I won't get any answers, but Committee of the Whole is next, right, where there is discussion? Can I get answers there?
not on this
No.
topic.
Okay, so I'll just reiterate a little bit. I too had concern about Ash Street during the weekend. I was there Saturday, and I love the Bluegrass Festival. It was great. Lots of people. In fact, I think a review needs to be done. I think it's kind of outgrown downtown Frankfort. I mean, when you have to close down 2 streets to accommodate it and affect the tenants, and Ash Street is the one, I guess, because it flows right into the green, that it's always the one closed down. But there are 11 tenants, 11 merchants on that street. So every time there's an event here that requires the whole town being taken over, Ash Street is closed down. So it's something that I think we really need to think about. The huge area, Prairie Park, the park area, it is beautiful back there. And they had a huge stage back there, right? Expand that area, use that area more, and allow your merchants to have people drive, not only walk to them. Again, great event, lots of people here. I hope they visited all of the retailers and bought things. But my big concern is these porta potty things in and on a public street. And I've had to pay attention to this twice now, Oktoberfest and the Bluegrass Fest, and thankfully my tenants and people have called me and said they have porta potties on your yard, and they know I don't want them there. I don't know who these people are. I mean, Steve of Bluegrass, right, does a great job managing the festival, but who is this person that did this beer tent and ordered these porta potties, and 5 times they moved them? I counted. First time off of my property, then onto the sidewalk, then across the street, onto the street, then back on the corner of the alley, then it came back out and went down in front of Parker James. So I think we can all agree that porta potties should not be on a public street in front of businesses. So I would just like not to have to manage porta potties again. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else would like to make a public comment before the board tonight? Come up, sir. Good evening.
My name is Thomas Foss. I don't live here, but I've been a volunteer for the Bluegrass Festival since it started. I knew Steve Haberrichter before the festival started, through music and people I know through music. 2 of my best friends have lived here for 30 years or more, and I stay at their house, and they're, very gracious. We love the fest, and I fully support it. I brought people with me. We come down here, spend money. I live up by the Wisconsin border, but we fully support it, and I want you to know that many volunteers are concerned about the possible plans for the restaurant. So we've heard some about it. I don't know all the details, but we are very concerned about it. So if changes are made, there's going to be issues with transporting goods and materials to and from where the volunteers park, how do we get around, etc. So I'm not involved in the porta potties, but many people have voiced some concern over the possible changes to basically the historical district. So I would hope you people as a board take into account of the downtown area. I also come to other events. I've been here for Fall Fest, etc. And I've been coming down here for 16 years or more. So I just want you to know, I came tonight. Like I said, I live up by the Wisconsin border. But I'm reflecting what other people said over the weekend. And I'm one of the farther volunteers that comes. And I'm totally dedicated to it. So hopefully you can take that into consideration and help administer the continued preservation of your historical district. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Is there anyone else who would like to come up? Public comment. Okay. Hearing nothing further. I'm sorry?
I just walked in late, so I wasn't for sure what subject I was on, but I do have a question, actually, a public comment.
This is public comment, so it is not a back and forth with question.
Okay. I just want to know if you all were taking consideration to get us a stoplight at the corner of Larway and Sauk Trail regarding the Frankfort Point project that's going to be happening. I don't know all the details on what's actually going into. We have been back and forth and reading, the documents, but I just want to make sure that you all know that our subdivision, Southwick, our children are imprisoned to that subdivision, and we really would like at least a stoplight at that corner. Is very dangerous, and we're not able to connect to anything with Frankfort unless we supervise our kids to go over to the trail. Our neighborhood doesn't connect to any trails. So we just want to know if you all are please taking consideration to get us at least a stoplight when the Frankfort Point project happens.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to come up for public comment? All right. Hearing no further comment, can I get a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you. We'll be starting the committee of the whole in a few minutes. We'll take a short recess.